Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday at like 7 and I am officially done with all of my chores and I am ready for the week. So I thought what I would do is just share some flips. I might just do both of my Hobonichi weeks planners in one video. I think that may be what I do instead of doing like two separate videos. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's start with my health weeks in this print brush and cover. I've said it in previous videos. I get a lot of questions about this planner cover. It's from Print Prussian. I don't think Kane's shop is open. I could be wrong. But I bought this like on sale. It was, I don't know, like 10 bucks when I bought it. So I do have a Liberty Fabrics Hobonichi Weeks. I just have like random stuff. Like I have cards in here for straight edge, like weather stickers, like deco, because it's cute, right? Yeah, okay. So this is my health and wellness weeks. This is where I keep up with like health information, wellness information, mood, mental health, everything health related is in this planner for the most part. Yeah, so I need to go in. I haven't updated this. I need to do better. I need to go in and update these yearly trackers just so I can see things on a bird's eye view. I use like a color coding system. So this is like pasted in insert from Plain with B. I think I printed it in personal size and then just glued it down in here because this is the, y'all know what page I'm talking about. This page is the page that this is. I have no use for that page like ever. So I was like, I kind of want to see like headaches and migraines on a needed, as needed, or nope. Headaches and migraines as they occur throughout the year in a bird's eye annual view, just so you can see, so I can see the frequency of it. And same with like workouts. So I just need to go through and update this. The data and the information is in here. It's just not on this, if that makes sense. This is my step tracker. This is where I write. I wear a Fitbit Versa 2. I've had this thing for like 5 years, y'all. The only thing I've ever had to replace, it does have like a crack on the screen, but it still works fine. The only thing is like the battery like doesn't last as long as it used to. The only thing I've ever had to replace is the band over the years. And you can buy these on Amazon for a good price. But this is where I write down like my daily steps. I did pretty well in March. I was pretty active. If you see steps where the days are low, it's probably because I had a migraine and was out of commission because I had to take a medication that made me sleepy. My goal is 10,000 steps a day. I prefer to do it like most of the time, if not all the time. But I'm pretty consistent about getting my steps in. Here is my monthly view. I decorated this on my channel. You can look and see the video. If I remember when I'm like editing, I'll try to link it up in the cards. So on the monthly pages, I write in like specifically like what workouts I do, like how long I worked out. And then if it's something that can be distance measured, then I just put the distance in. I also have like my own personal signifiers. These are something that is just very personal to me, but I note it each day on here that it happens. And then down here, I just draw on a tracker where I track my sleep, my energy levels. So my sleep goes from 8 to 4. I usually don't like get less than 5 typically, unless it's just a really bad night. And I don't usually get more than 8 every once in a while. Usually when I have a migraine, I get more than 8 hours of sleep. And then I track energy levels, high, medium, low. So medium is baseline for me. High is like I'm super hyper. And you probably, if you were around me, would probably be like, girl, sit your butt down. And low is like, I'm just exhausted and I'm doing the absolute bare minimum. Okay. Weekly. So, March started kind of like at the very like tail end of the week. So this was how the week was set up. Y'all, I was like, because I didn't have, so I bought these stamps from Amazon. And because I was having a hard time like finding the stamps like this with weather. They're like hard to find. And I had like people like that I'm friends with on Instagram that were like sending me links. And anytime I would like go to click the link, they were already sold out. So I was like, you know what? I just bought those. And I like the letters too. So I was drawing in my weather. Okay, so breaking it down, I draw 3 lines to make 3 columns. I track weather, and then I highlight, because that's where I rate my day. I rate my day on a scale of 1 to 5, and that typically means like 1 is like it was like a very shitty day, 5 is like it was like the best day ever. And then I track weather just to see if like if I'm seeing any correlation with mood, with migraines, with anything. This middle portion is usually the biggest portion, and this is just where I write like mental health notes or notes about my mood or how I was feeling that day. And then this is where I track my physical symptoms. This is where I track like gratitude. I write like my gratitude or my small wins for the day. I have a habit tracker here where I track things that I find to be, you know, helpful for me, like physically, mentally, spiritually, and just so that like I don't feel like overwhelmed. Usually I will put a note in. Usually it's like a summary of like maybe like midweek. I'm like, I'm kind of struggling. Usually what I do here, I clearly didn't do it this week, is I take an average of my week and I rate the week, and then I write my highs and lows. Sometimes I don't do that, which is fine, but I set it up every week just to see if I, will. So that didn't happen, but yeah, I didn't really change anything aside from like, apparently, that was a rough day. I had to like call out of work that day because I was like messed, like my migraine, that was a bad migraine. But yeah, so I've had a lot more migraines recently, probably attributed to stress. That's life, right? A lot of like exhaustion. I started getting hot flashes again. It's just been fun. It is fun. But yeah, as you can see, like on my notes, I put like sick day, meds not working like they should. Sorry, y'all. I live in a loud house. Week improved. Glad to have a break next week. And then I just kind of write like my highs and lows. I was having fun with different pens, different colored inks. I was trying different ways of tracking. Maybe stress is a migraine trigger. Time outside has improved my mood. So like daylight savings happened. This was spring break week too. Also, I wasn't at work, so that helped. And we didn't have like the busy schedule. You know, we had fun and a break, and that was what I needed. I started drawing in the weather, but didn't. Yeah. So there was one night that I remember I didn't take my preventative migraine medication, and I felt it the next day. Being off work, no migraines, outdoor time, family time was great. And that was when daylight savings happened, and so we had more daylight. So I was like, we were doing our walks. This is when I got the stamps. As y'all can see, I had an issue with the fountain pen and ink that I used here. It bled through really bad on this paper, so I ended up swapping it and writing in. But again, I like keeping this archive. You know, like notes wise, I put like managing stress well this week, recognizing overwhelm and allowing myself breaks and grace. And then I put a note like I refilled some medication. I worked out a lot this week. I'm not really sure why. Probably because we didn't have a lot of things going on, or the games were later, so I had time. I was like thankful for migraine meds because I had to take a Toradol. This week I just fell off. This week was crazy busy, and I just did not make this a priority, and that's fine. I used and I don't think I shared me setting this week up anyway, but I did go in and just write in whatever pen I had at the moment that, you know, any like physical symptoms I had, but I didn't do mental health notes. And that's the thing, that if I miss it, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay. And I think that's like the thing that I need to remind myself, like if for some reason I have an incomplete week, I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to stress about it. Y'all, that shadow. What is the... Okay, let me stop. The shadow is distracting me. So anyway, if I don't finish the week, I don't finish the week. And then we move into April. So that's that. Let's talk about my health. Y'all see I haven't filled in my health goals. All right. So let's talk about this tracker, y'all. I got so overwhelmed in March that I said, forget this. I'm done. I'm not tracking all this stuff anymore. So I did make adjustments for April, and I decided I just removed all of these moods because I was tired of checking them. It was just a bit much for me. So I just have like a tracker of the things that I deemed the most important. I do have an April plan with me on my channel. In this planner, if you want to look at it, that's, you know, if I can remember, it'll be linked. But yeah, I just was like, why am I tracking this if I'm like journaling about it? Like it didn't make sense to me. I've lost my mind. And I was just overwhelmed and didn't want to do it. So I stopped and again, abandoned, and that's cool too. So incomplete tracker. I'm doing a lot better this month. I don't think I added, I added my refill. I didn't see any doctors. I haven't been to therapy. I wrote a note just because this day I had to call out of work, and my issue was my medications were not working. So I was really, really struggling in that. And I think that's it. That's all I got. Yep. Because I haven't done my self-care plan. I had all these grand plans and I haven't done it. But I have like this is like my daily calorie goal for me to be in a deficit, my daily protein goal, my daily fiber goal, and this was something that was in my personal rings that I just kind of like keep tucked back here for me to reference. And I don't use any of these pages back here. So I just use what I need, and if I fall off or run behind, it's not that big of a deal. Like I just move on. And start the next week and hope that I'm a little bit more consistent. But I will say for the most part, I was consistent in here. And I really like having a book that details my own like health notes, stats that I can look back on, that I can look and even like try to determine like if I'm finding triggers, if I'm finding things that are, you know, overwhelming me, any trends, right? But I do like having this information here all in one book, just specifically about my overall health and wellness. So I find that this has been a nice tool for me to use this year. It's the first time I've ever done a health and wellness weeks. Yeah. All right, so this is my Through the Purple Night Hobonichi Weeks. My husband actually bought this and gifted it to me, which is sweet. I don't know if y'all can tell, purple is one of my favorite colors. And I use it in conjunction with my A6 Plans by Just Scribble. There is a flip of this thing, like kind of in my quarterly planner system review, if you guys want to see kind of like how I'm using it. It's just very scribbly. I just have stickers in here. This, I scanned in this pencil board and printed it on this really bad vellum I bought. So I pasted it. And then this is like my original artwork. I do not use this page. I haven't updated this. I need to go back in and update this because I haven't marked. Again, I use things where I can track this. I just haven't marked it in here, but this is what I'm using to like count how many books I've read in 2025. So I just use this like purple dot marker here and dot, and then write the number that I'm on for the book. Y'all, I haven't done a monthly in here since January. Like no monthly has been completed. I just don't know that I have a use for a monthly in this planner because I do use the monthly in my A6 Just Scribble planner. And it's just, yeah, it's just so I can see like bird's eye view, you know. My husband is messaging me. I need to be like, what? What's insane? Anyway, so my weeks is like my desk planner. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I had to read a message that it's like Jesse's literally at the house messaging me. It's kind of funny. All right, so going into March, yeah, so I use my weeks. This is my desk planner. This is where like I just try to map out my week in a very neat way and try to like plan as efficiently as possible. Sometimes it's effective and sometimes it's not. That's the reality of the world in which I live. So usually what I do is I divide the weekly planning side in half. I use the left-hand column to actually like note day-specific events, time-specific events, that type of thing. You know, like my kids' athletic schedule. I have, both of my kids are athletes, and so, you know, we have a pretty hefty athletic, like after school schedule. We run all the time. And then Jesse and I, we both work like full time as well. So yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, this is the final page of like end of February going into March. I made some adjustments in March where I was just playing with layout and things. So I was like trying to, you know, kept my habit tracker, planning my workouts differently, because I was planning my workouts like this. This was like my previous setup. I did it like most of last year. But I was like, I kind of want to maximize my space. So I kind of did my workouts more like in a list format, my habits. I threw in an affirmation because I wanted to get better at planning meals, or at least having options for meals, because I felt like that was an area that I was struggling with our schedule. And then a task list. So yes, but there are times like, it's like, y'all, like this was the week before spring break and it was just nonstop. It was nonstop. I had no like just day to myself. It was crazy. And I wasn't doing so well. Like, and then the kids were gone all the time, so they couldn't do a lot of chores and stuff. And I don't even think I was tracking like I needed to. Yeah. So this is spring break. All of these, I think, except for one, is up on my channel. I have a Plan With Me playlist if y'all want to watch it. But this is the week of spring break. I used these stickers that my friend Rhonda gave me. And it was fun. And I kind of went back to my old way just because we didn't have a lot of stuff going on. Like Jesse and I had planned to go live and we didn't. We did go to like a hockey game, which was fun. I just put a big old sticker right there. But yeah. And then I love this weekly spread. It was so fun to do this one. I like the little kitty cat. These were gifts from my friend Rhonda, all these stickers. And then I thought the washi paired very nicely. It's very like romantic looking. And I love this fountain pen ink. It's called Wilted Rose. It's from the Diamine Ink Vent. I did not plan this week because this Sunday was chaotic. As y'all can see, another busy week. But yeah, so I used, this is another Diamine Ink Vent ink. I'll tell y'all the name of it. And I use it in my, whatchamacallit, my Jinhao X750 in a medium nib. It's called Diamine Ink Vent 2024 Lullaby. It's this really pretty, lilac-y color. It's like a purpley pink, in my opinion. And then here was the last week in March. I've been having fun using my fountain pens in here, to be honest, and just playing around with stickers and stuff like that. And I don't think I updated any of my collections. Maybe I wrote some of my books in. I don't really know. Let's look, shall we? I'm behind in everything, y'all. Like, and that's just life, right? Planning, life, that type of thing. So I have an index page. I usually will go through like when the book is over, like when the book is over. When the year ends, I'll go back in and fill in my index at the end of the year. This is like original artwork that I printed on vellum and just used it as like a cover page because no one else in the world has that, because I made that. Sophie and I started watching a show over spring break, so I probably should write that down. It was called, Sophie and I really like K-dramas and K-pop, so we're a fun bunch. But we started watching this show on Netflix called My Demon. I think we're like 3 episodes in. Like, I told her, I was like, when like softball and soccer, like, and so we'll have more time to like watch shows on the weekend together. Movie log. I don't have any movies logged. Jesse and I like watch movies, like probably movies we've seen before. Like we watched this really dumb movie that Jean-Claude Van Damme was in. That's how old the movie was. It's called Death Warrant. It's terrible. Dine Out log, I haven't updated. Y'all, I don't even know. So you know, it's like I have all these intentions, like when I set up these collections, and they just don't always work. I did pretty good, like writing some of the books I've read, but I haven't updated it. So I need to look through like my Goodreads and see what books I read in, what's the month? March. Yeah. And I think that's it. And then I have like this for notes, but I haven't put like not one note in here. Yeah, I have like scribbled, like I was like showing Monique how this Pilot Kakuno pen writes. And I was like, I want all the colors. And then Monica like messaged me on Instagram. Was it Friday night? She's like, I'll buy you one. I was like, I have like 4 in my cart for jet pens. I just haven't done it yet. You know, I just had to buy Malaya like a $500 bat. So yeah, I was broke. Anyway, so pen test page. I haven't used my 100. I don't know. And then that's it. So yeah, I just, you know, sometimes like I fall in and out of planners a good bit. I'm not using my personal rings at all. I just, you know, if I don't force it, like if it's just one of those weeks where like I'm not in my planner, then it's just one of those weeks I'm not in my planner. It's really not that, it's not that serious to me. I don't try to force it. I don't stress myself out about it. Like, as long as like I do what I need to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. So, okay, yeah, those are flips of my 2 Hobonichi Weeks planners. I'm sorry for all the shadows. I know that's probably, it's distracting me, so I'm sure it's distracting to some others. But yeah, so those are my 2 Hobonichi Weeks planners. I'm really behind in my cousin, so I hope to do a flip of that soon. And I may do like a couple of journal with me's. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye, friends.